Hi everyone, it's me again with Chapter 3 of The Person Controller by David Baddiel. As it happened, Ellie's controller wasn't actually broken. The toggle had gone as touch floppy and the X button looked like it had been knocked diagonal by whatever G-force it sustained while stuck between Eric's bottom cheeks. But it worked, kind of, if you ignored the fact that when it shuddered like controllers do when you hit the bar in FIFA, or there's an explosion in Call of Duty, it felt to Ellie like it was shuddering for another reason. That reason being that while it had been lost for a short while in a very bad place. Basically, Ellie didn't really want to touch her beloved controller anymore, which everyone in the family, including Eric, understood. In fact, Eric, who was a nice person and a good dad, even if he loved bacon sandwiches almost as much as his children, went so far as to tell Ellie that he was perfectly willing to pay for a new controller, as long as she didn't tell anyone what had happened to the old one. The day after Eric made that promise, Fred and Ellie were in their school computer room. Well, it wasn't really a computer room. Bracketwood was a good school, more or less, but it didn't have any money. And so what it called a computer room was in fact a cleaning cupboard, with all the cleaning materials taken out, and an 8-year-old laptop on the shelf, where there used to be 5 bottles of toilet duck. However, Fred and Ellie didn't mind, because right then, they were enjoying going through their favourite gaming sites and reading reviews of all the latest controllers. Ellie in particular was really enjoying herself. People who aren't gamers don't know this, do they? She was saying. They think that controllers just come in black plastic with some buttons bundled with a console. But they're so wrong. Look! Fred, who just tended to listen when Ellie got very excited about anything to do with gaming, nodded. She was right. Clicking quickly through many different web pages, her skill at video games showing in how expert she also was with a mouse. She pulled up on the screen loads of different types of controller. Black ones, grey ones, silver ones, rainbow ones, camouflage ones, football ones, ones with big toggles, ones with small toggles, toggles that were gear sticks and steering wheels, controllers with blue lights and white lights and red lights and yellow lights, with ribbed handles and smooth handles and leather-clad handles and handles shaped like hands, with headphones and microphones and speakers attached, and ones that you could personalise yourself. You could even have one made in the shape of your own name. The 2 L's in Ellie could be the handles, she said excitedly. Yes, said Fred, wondering how that would work with Fred. Maybe if he went for Frederick, the K and the D could be the handles. But then again, Frederick was probably a bit long for a video game controller. He'd have to hold his hands really wide apart. What browser are you using? Their sort of friend Sterling, one of the other pupils at Bracketwood who could often be found in the computer room. He was standing behind Ellie, peering at the screen. Browser, said Ellie, turning around. I don't know, Safari? Sterling looked at his younger sister Scarlett. They burst out laughing. Safari? Oh dear, they said together. Ellie raised her eyes at Fred, who raised his own eyes back. Sterling and Scarlett were very technologically aware and proud of it. This was one reason, as far as Fred and Ellie were concerned, they were sort of friends rather than friends. Is that wrong? Said Ellie. Well, it's not wrong if you want to be truly up to speed, said Sterling. Both design-wise and speed-wise, said Scarlett. As in download speed, she added helpfully. Then I think we would suggest, wouldn't we, Scarlett? Scarlett nodded eagerly. Allegro, she said. Quick Smart, Protical, Internet Wingding, Paloma's World Browser. All great, said Sterling, but for me, the top of the list has to be at the moment in time, Cyberdoodoo. Of course, Cyberdoodoo. Never heard of it, said Ellie. Where does it say that? Twitter, said Fred. Twitter, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, they went. What are you, a pensioner? Asked Sterling. No, Cyberdoodoo is what everyone recommends on. Instant Gone, said Scarlett. Whizstream, Quack, Face Tunnel, Pinteresting enough. Durkin Pocketadolek. Sterling shook his head. Chat Whiskers. Chat Whiskers, of course. Ellie, who had continued to stare at the screen while all this was going on, turned around at last. Scarlett, can I ask you a question? Are you even on social media? They looked at each other. Then they shook their heads. Are you in fact even allowed to use a computer without your parents' supervision? Scarlett and Sterling looked at each other again and then shook their heads. Our mum says that we can when we're in year 5, said Scarlett. This was another reason that Sterling and Scarlett were only sort of friends. They were in year 3 and 2. They were 8 and 7. Okay, babies, said Ellie, turning back around to the computer. Then perhaps some of your recommendations can wait, at least until... Well. This wasn't said by Sterling or Scarlett. In fact, when Ellie and Fred turned around, Sterling and Scarlett had vanished. Standing there instead were the other twins in school, Isla and Morris Fawcett. "Oh no," said Fred. And look, there's Scarlett and Sterling. And that's the end of chapter 3.